Been going from county to county. I don't know why he's just going from everywhere. Where he's just going there. He's not into election campaigning time. He's using his energy. Anyway, LPP. Yeah, Liberian People's Party. That is the party. What? When you make one mistake, a different person political. Yeah, so Tiawan is also, now I can say we have, that I do know of, we have 5 presidential candidates now. The incumbent George Weah, Elzana Cummins, Joseph Yuban Boyka, Tiawan Gongloe, Dr. Clarence Monubai, well, all opting for the presidency. So our candidate that are from the council, let me just greet you again. Good morning to you, council. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm happy to be here again. I think this is my first time since this year.
Yeah, Happy New Year, in fact.
Yeah, and happy returns. But let me quickly talk about that land, double land selling. Let me give from you raise the issue about the buyer. There's something about good faith purchaser. If you actually don't know that you are buying somebody's land, there's protection for you in law. There's defense, right? Not that you're going to take the land, but you'll not be punished. The first buyer will still get the land. But I'm telling you, some people in this country will tell you, just send me the land. We'll talk about it. Especially influential people, they will know that that land belongs to someone.
Or just sell it in the meantime. If you have the deal and think, okay.
In court, they will think that because of the influence and money they have, they will succeed and giving some of the lapses in our courts.
So the two of them, before Edward can continue, the two of them should be punished?
Yeah, the two of them should be punished.
But this don't happen in most cases now.
As evidence, unless it is shown that this buyer was actually innocent. Because, crimes are committed knowingly, purposely, and intentionally. So if the person didn't know, the law will find some excuse for that person. It doesn't mean that the person will own the land. The first purchaser will still be the owner.
Okay, great. How you doing this morning, health-wise? Tell me, just running everywhere from counter to counter. Where are you just going, using your energy?
Doing fine. Look, I'm in age older than you, but in terms of physical fitness, I'm much younger than you because I do 60 push-ups every morning.
And I practice for 2-3 hours weekly.
I'm much younger than you.
You good to go, council. Yeah, man. The legal people always defending, man. Yes, go ahead, Edward.
Go ahead to talk about my trips you're talking about. There's a crucial national issue that is cropping. And those of us who are guided by history we can see early warning signs of conflict. And I see an emerging conflict between two powerful political leaders, the president of the country and Senator Prince Johnson. Senator Prince Johnson has said that there's threat on his life, there's an attempt to kill him. I think the government should take this.
You're speaking from the legal point of view now, right? Legally, right? Okay, the legal side now, the legal angle.
Human rights lawyer.
Go ahead. Let's hear the council on this one.
I'm saying that the government should take this allegation seriously and probe into it and come up with a report to the public. It should not be pushed under the carpet. It should not just be taken as a political statement because it's important that a citizen of the country, especially somebody of his stature, comes and makes a clear allegation that his life is in danger. It should be one of the rules of government to protect the life of all citizens. That's the first right that needs to be protected. Also, I want to call upon the Council of Churches to intervene between the two leaders who are in fact using the pulpits. Both of them are preachers. So to the extent that the pulpits are being used to speak in the manner in which they are speaking, and they have followers. The followers
oh yeah
go against each other. I see early warning signs.
And the pulpit is there for the word of God. So the Council of Churches should come in.
They should come in and mediate this emerging conflict. They shouldn't sit there and clap or just let it go.
Council, you're a wise man.
Look at these people have conflict.
You are a wise man, Council. Despite politics and your tone like this could calm the both sides down. I mean, your tone like that, Council Tiawan Gongloe. a presidential candidate, your tone, that tells you that you're a wise man.
Always been a one-man peacekeeper. When I left government, Moba Molo and others in opposition, I used to go and free them from the police station and the court without them paying me. I consider a duty as a citizen to make sure that we have peace. So, everyone, the chief of staff of the economic freedom fighters was
Emmanuel Segonga.
when he was jailed 2 years ago. I was in Bapolo. I came and when I got him out of jail. Many times I got Martin Colley was in trouble. I was there. Vandala Patrick, all these people. So I've been a one-man peacekeeper. And when I see conflict emerging, I feel it, I consider a duty to immediately curb it. So I'm calling upon the Council of Churches not to let this day pass, to actually call the two men of the club, because both of them are preaching, and mediate this conflict before it gets to their followers.
Okay. Okay, great. So Edward is holding your broom. Edward, you can continue. That broom is not used for you. Edward, that broom, you can pick it up for Edward. That broom is not for you.
He's probably joining the broom movement. But let me say that also there is Mr. Andrew Peters, who claims that Bill Traore,
Andrew Peters of the NPP?
Yes.
Okay.
He has said that in Rivers, Mr. Bill Traore is using government soldiers who are armed to intimidate his supporters in Rivers, and that on January 29, there was shooting in Bojizia town. That is something that should claim the government's attention to do something about that quickly, because these are all early warning signs of conflict as we go into the emotional period of the election. This election should be free and fair. And one of the elements of freedom is that fairness is that people operate in freedom. No one should have any should use any intimidating.
And the NPP is a member of the coalition.
Exactly. And I suspect that both of them are coming from that same coalition for democratic change. But their actions could affect ordinary people. So, as a concerned citizen, I'm really calling upon the Council of Churches and the government to make sure that this emerging conflict in Riverside does not go far, as well as the Council of Churches should intervene between the two powerful men of the club, because they have followers.
Okay, let's go strictly into our discussions here today on the TBS. I'm holding this broom because this is the broom you carried around. This is the broom you introduced as a political aspirant, especially for the presidency. That's the high office of this country. You take this broom around, sweeping corruption. And this is what you want to do, especially when the people of Liberia gave you that mandate. You have been going around the country because you started this broom in the capital, Monrovia, which is Mosurada County, and Mosurada County is not just Liberia. You'll be going around the country, visiting several areas. Tell us, how has the broom been working?
Oh, there is a whole movement building around the country, the broom movement. Everyone wants a clean government. So the message is resonating. As my convoy arrives in any town, people can have their brooms and saying, we will sweep corruption. We're tired with this corrupt people in government. And that is something that everyone has been saying they're yearning for, a clean government, because social services cannot be provided in this country. Government cannot provide enough logistics for the police and the rest of the security forces to protect us if there's so much stealing in government. And everybody realizes that as you go around the country, and it's felt more in the interior, because the road conditions and all of that are things that they feel. Like, I just came from Lofa, and between Zaza and Vonjama is so terrible. All three of the cars that I carried got damaged. One of them, the ball joint got broken 3 times. The other one, the arm got broken, and the other one, the propeller uh, thing on the car that propels the car got damaged when we were going to Zolo. So they are feeling the conditions because of government not having enough resources to provide the services that it should provide in terms of good roads, good health system that is affordable, that is accessible to all. There are many children out of school uh, in Nimba, in Bon, in Grand Bazaar, in Riverses, in Lufa, because their parents don't have money to send them to school, and it hurts them a lot. So I've been going around with the message of a better Liberia agenda. Um, and I have a 10-point agenda for better Liberia, but there are four that really, really resonate with the people. First, when I say, based on all accounts, there's so there's high rate of death among pregnant women and among children, and therefore, what needs to be done. And I say, if I'm given opportunity in this country to lead, all pregnant women will go to hospital free of charge in all government clinics and hospitals around the country. All children below the age of 5 will go to hospitals free of charge.
Sometimes when you say these kind of things and they will go to hospital free of charge, then people will be wondering what strategies are you going to use for these people to go to hospital free of charge?
So here is it. Government pronouncement should be taken seriously. In fact, the other vulnerable population, I've said, old people don't usually talk about old people. So they talk about children, women and children. So I said, look, Liberians 65 years up will also go to hospital and clinics free of charge. And people are wise. In many areas I went to say, well, Councillor Gongloe, the government hospital and clinics can only prescribe nothing there. You say even you go to JFK, they prescribe until you go to local pharmacy. Same thing is happening all over the country. And I said, it is happening because government wants it to happen. The way to make sure that people comply is to monitor compliance, to monitor operations of government.
It's like, how are you going to acquire the drugs you're talking about to be free of charge?
Government has money to acquire drugs. They have been acquiring drugs most times, and the international community has been helping to. Most times the drugs disappear from the clinics and hospitals. They go into private clinics, they go into drugstores and pharmacies. We know that. So one of the things to do is to make sure that those hospitals and clinics function. That the hospitals and clinics function. How am I going to do it? I want to pay unannounced visits to clinics and hospitals. Myself as president going and saying, I came to JFK for full medical checkup. If the things that should be there are not there, and before going, I will find out from the Minister of Finance whether disbursement had been made. And I will pay a surprise visit to those places. And if I pay a surprise visit and they tell me, Mr. President, this is not there, this is not here, this is not there, here, and I would then respond. If this hospital is not good for the president, then it's not good for any citizen. Somebody will be fired that day and turned over for full investigation, maybe prosecution. And I strongly believe that when I visit at least 10 hospitals and clinics around the country, I get them and go to FOIA and say, I came to the FOIA Health Center for medical checkup. And I say, oh, we don't have a microscope, we don't have this there. Somebody will have to account. And I believe that if I visit about 10 clinics around the country and there are consequences for the things that should be there not being there, for the poor functioning of the clinics and hospitals, others would be afraid because they would not know when the president is coming here. But if the president does not use the health system, if the VIPs in the government, the ministers and all these people don't use the health system, then nothing happens.
Are you saying that once the people, say the Liberian People's Party, Cllr becomes president of this nation, there'll be no need for the president and other government officials going outside of the country to seek medical attention. Is that what you're trying to say?
Correct. Because if the system is not good for the president, officials, government, then it's not good for any citizen. So in that way, we'll make government hospitals and clinics to perform better than private clinics, because there will be consequences for poor performance. That resonates well with the people all over the country, at least for the 5 countries that I've been to. The other issue that people are concerned about is their children going to school. And I was in Bangui, I had to pay for 2 little girls to go back to school. Because the other one said, I'm in the 5th grade, but I'm not going to school this year. And what's the school fee? $1,000 a year in the government school. I paid for she and the other girl to go to school. But, that's the situation all over the country. About 16%, that's the statistics of children who should be going to school are not going to school in this country. But God did not put brains only in rich poor children here. Maybe the children who are not going to school are the ones that God gave the brains to be our doctors and scientists, to help this country, to be our own Bill Gates tomorrow. But if they're not going to school, then the country will lose. So when LPP takes over this country, all children will go to school from kindergarten to 12th grade free of charge. And we eliminate illiteracy in 2 years by making, junior high students, giving us stipend to teach in a community after school, senior high students teaching in a community after school, college students teaching in a community after school, and employing young college graduates to teach, so that in 2 years we can make this country literate. It is a mandate in the Constitution. Article 6 of the Constitution makes it an obligation of the government of Liberia to educate the children of Liberia and eliminate illiteracy. This is a clear mandate.
Okay, if you are just tuning in to this broadcast, let me just inform you that you are listening to the Truth Breakfast Show on Truth 96.1 FM. And of course, I'm Edward Kennedy along with Onid Rabos. We have with us right now our guest, he's Councillor Tiawan Gongloe. Let me just come to your tour of the various counties. You have left the capital, Monrovia, left the main county, Mosurado County, which hosts the capital. You have gone into the rural areas and you have carried on your advocacy there, telling the people the need to at least elect you as their leader so that at least their life can improve. What are you hearing from them when you go about carrying on this kind of a message to them?
When I speak of the 4 major issues, and let me conclude on education, I also tell the young people, you're riding motorcycles, but especially the boys, but when you get to the age of 40, your bike will be hurting. But you got a wife and children, you got a family to take care of. Therefore, it is government responsibility to give you skills. On LPP administration, there will be free technical and vocational schools in the 15 countries for our young people to acquire skills. If they don't do so, we're confident the metals, steel, and even the Western cluster, all that come, foreigners get the jobs. Liberian young people don't get the jobs because when they go for a job, they say, are you a yellow machine operator? No. Are you a mechanic? No. Are you a carpenter? No. Whatever, all these skills. So we need to train our young children, our young people, so that they can benefit from the investment that come in our country, the jobs that come. Young people are very happy with that. And when I tell them, I'm a teacher, so I always give tests at the end of my presentations all over the country. I say, anyone in the audience who believes that what I'm saying makes sense, is doable, and it's good for our country, stand up. If you don't believe it, don't stand up. The whole crowd stands up. The whole audience stands up. And I'm not forcing them. They say, we've never heard this message from any presidential candidate. In fact, I'm changing the whole process of presenting yourself to the people in this country. Normally, the presidential candidates go to the capitals and call people to come. I am going to them. Power belongs to the people. They have power. You want power from them, you have to go to them. That's why I will cross the Sisters River in River Cess and go to Kwapuka town. And there's no other way to go there. I went 35 minutes on a motorized canal, which means that you go with the canal that is pedal, it will take you maybe 4 hours. I entered this town, I was received. No motor road goes to that time. It's across the river upstream from Sisters River, Sister City. And strangely, I get a surprise of historic proportion.
And the people listen to you.
They tell me after I talk and they agree with me, they give their Cllr and all of that. They say, do you know, the elders say, do you know this town that you visited today is the birthplace of Annie, the mother of the current president, but he has never been here. I said, well, I'm here. I can tell him how the town looks. But that is what people should do. They should honor the owners of power by going to them. And I see why Liberia is not developed, because people who seek power never go to the nooks and crannies of Liberia to see where people live and to see the conditions, to know that most of the towns in this country don't have hand pumps, don't have other things that they need to have. And apart from the intervention of the NGOs during the wartime, government has actually abandoned the people. They don't feel government in their places. And I'm encouraging all the contenders to muster the courage like me to go to the people so that if they are lucky to be elected, they can know the problems of the people and have empathy, to solve this problem. The other thing that the people are concerned about is rice.
Okay.
Liberians, you and I can eat a bowl of cassava or yam or sweet potato.
We always say we are not eating anything.
Or plantain right now with gravy.
Mm-hmm.
Then this evening I asked her, Tiawan Gongloe, have you eaten today?
It's no.
We ate some plantain and so on.
Yeah.
But we didn't eat it.
Yeah, we eat it.
Because we are not eating rice.
Exactly.
Now, if rice is the only thing that we consider food, they must grow it. In every country, every responsible government helps farmers to produce the food that they eat everywhere in the world. I just came from the United States not long ago. They help farmers. In this country, the government is not helping farmers, but the government is giving subsidy to rice importers. That is not a sustainable way to make rice available. The only sustainable way is to grow rice. So I've said, under my administration, we will bring, under LPB administration, we will bring machines, rice producing machines, give them to the farmers,
You are talking about added value now to the agricultural process,
of course,
right?
To make it available to produce more.
Okay.
So to have rice farmer fires, you have to have machines, not cutlasses. So we'll bring machines and then we'll give it to the farmers through the farmers cooperatives, monitored by CDA, the Cooperative Development Agency, that is under the Ministry of Ministry of Agriculture. And then the farmers, because Liberian people don't like free deal, the farmers will pay for it by giving rice every year for 15 years. That's how they'll pay for the machines. I also intend. And that machine will be owned by them now. It will be owned by them after 15 years. And it will be producing rice all over the country. I also want to make sure, and I spoke about this at the Armed Forces Day Symposium 2 years ago with the Chief of Staff and everybody sitting there. I said since 1908, when the Frontier Force was established, our military has never fought any war, has never defended Liberia against any invasion. So the army is sitting down, will pay them every month, will buy them uniform, will do everything. I have an enemy for the army to fight. That's hunger. Okay. When LPP wins, we'll buy machines, the new weapons. That will be the new war tanks and bazookas. We'll buy for the army, and we'll tell them. And that will be agricultural implements. Exactly. So, as Commander in Chief, I will order chief of staff to declare war against hunger by producing not less than 100 acres of rice farm in each of the 15 counties. So even the farmers are saying, we're having Christmas, we're having birthday party, we're not planting today. The military takes strict order. So to make sure that rice is here, the military will plant rice for us, led by the agriculture battalion. And I believe that in a few years, Liberia could be a rice exporter, not rice importer, because we spend more than $200 million every year on rice.
Councillor Gongloe, you have a whole lot of good ideas on how to really move this country forward. Look at the agricultural, sector, the kind of wave you have just maybe projected, what you want to do. But my concern here is, how are the people receiving the message you are carrying to them?
They say, we've never heard this message before. Where are you coming from with the ideas? I say, I grew up here. I live in Nimba. I went in the bush. I used to join what they call the school coup. When you and I think you are old enough or young enough you're old enough to
yes, that cool system.
To remember.
Yes.
When we used to go to school from March to December.
Yeah.
Then we use part of December, January.
Vacation.
Vacation coup, right?
Yes.
So I joined vacation coup in 1973. Mm-hmm. My father said, you're not going to marry, join your friends. So I know about vacation coup. But cutlasses can't make us self-reliant in rice production.
The population has grown.
More than that, Liberia used to export rice in the 1800s. At that time, nobody was going to school. Nobody working in mining. Mm-hmm. Nobody working in Firestone. Everybody was in the interior. The youthful population was there.
Yes.
But the youthful population is in Monrovia, is in all the urban areas. They are in the mining companies. They are with the rubber plantations. They have traveled abroad. So you have to change the mode of production and now bring in machines.
Okay.
Then will become not only sufficient in rice production. I strongly believe that Liberia will soon be a rice exporter, exporting to Mali, Burkina Faso, the places that are desert lands, but they eat rice, and then Liberia now will be earning money from rice production, just as Botswana is producing meat. In addition to diamond, that's the agricultural product that they're producing. They supply meat in South Africa and other areas, and they're making a lot of money from meat production. We have a natural rich soil. You can plant rice one place for 3 years without using fertilizer, and it will still have a great yield. So we need to emphasize on this natural wealth that we have. I always say that we are not a poor country. We are poor by choice, because we choose leaders who are not capable of managing the natural resources that we have for the benefit of all, so that Liberia can be considered a better country. And that is my vision, to make Liberia a better country than it is.
So your vision, as you go about maybe traveling around the country, is your vision really, resonating with the Liberian people?
It is resonating. I'm really surprised. I just started. Now, when you call 3 presidential candidates in the country, you have to call my name. Go to Grand Bassa, go to all these places. You can appear on radio. I'm one of the candidates as an advocate who is not afraid to give my views. Someone say, you're telling people your views, the other candidates might copy. I said, that's fine. My interest is Liberia. If all of them have the same agenda I have, then it will be based on who is capable of implementing based on track record. So I'm not hiding anything. The next thing that the people are concerned about in the interior is road condition. Look, maybe you didn't see it, but in the 70s, in the 80s, and even in the 60s, under Tubman, Toba, and Do, there were public work yards in all of the counties. And there were yellow machines that used to, maintain the roads, especially dry season like this. You see the machines moving. And we never had a situation, I never heard one day that 6 months of the year, vehicles could not move from Vonjaman to Banga as is happening these days. I never heard one day that vehicles could not come from southeastern Liberia, especially, Zwedru to come to Tapata, where I was going to school, or for vehicles to come from Tapata to Kanta, because There were polymer yards in Ganta, in Cample, in Tapeta, in Tota on the Grandida side, in Zwedru, in Kamyeke on the Regisa, all over, so that they were and these machines were used to maintain the roads. And it reduced poverty because people were selling their commodities, going to the market, and moving without any hindrance. Today, so I mean, sadly, because of the road condition in the country, our counties that have borders with other countries are sending cocoa and coffee to those countries. I was in Bagedu, I was in Foya, I was in Yanamanahum. All these areas are closer to Sierra Leone and
Yeah,
Guinea,
the border. Yeah.
and they are sending their cocoa and coffee to Guinea and Sierra Leone. So when they are exported, the volume of export and the money made from there is going to those countries and should be coming to us because our people, trucks of cocoa and coffee used to come from Lofamer every day. The money farmers cooperatives, this other one, all these farmers cooperatives are really producing and sending. But right now, government is not even helping them. Then the roads are so bad that it doesn't. They will not make any profit, even if they have a truck that manages to get the money. All the money will be on the cost of transportation.
Okay, Councillor Gongloe, I'm holding your broom once again, and I'm thinking.
That makes you a member of the broom movement.
No, I may not be a member of the broom movement, but taking this broom to Lofa County, Maryland County, and other areas. This is the seat of government where corruption is really endemic. We can't say pandemic, but it's endemic. What you are taking this broom all over? What does it really mean?
I took the broom even to America, because Liberians live there.
Okay.
Wherever Liberians live, because I'm teaching, I'm changing minds, as my friend Bropla would say, Councillor Bropla would say, and I'm trying to transform Liberia, beginning with a mindset. Government is a place to serve, not to steal. So we have to clean. The corruption has marred the image of the government of Liberia that this founding nation of Africa is not shining anymore. We are way behind.
Okay.
We are way behind in education, in health system, in road network, in food production, in technology, everything we are way behind. Ghana, all these new countries are way ahead of us. So this corruption that has caused us to be a backward country must be fought. And I have a 12-count prescription for combating corruption that begins with opening that the president's salary must be on the internet and published in the newspapers. The minister's salary and asset declaration value and benefits must be published. You know why that is important? When a minister, you know that a minister in your village, you check your phone on the internet, and you find a minister is worth $50,000, but then he's billing a $300,000 house after being in government for 2 months. You can say with confidence that this minister is stealing, because you can't say a friend in Saudi Arabia or Libya sending money or in America, because the code of conduct says no government official can get a gift that's valued more than $250. So you can't argue that. You can say with confidence that this man is stealing, and that alone will serve as a prevention of corruption, because naming and shaming is one of the ways to fight corruption. In fact, it's very effective. So when everybody around says, "Oh, this minister is a rogue," it will scare a lot of ministers to do these outrageous things, and even people in the legislature. You'll be surprised. I went to Foya, and I walk, I exercise every day. So 5:45, no, 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm walking with one security officer. I said, let's go for a walk. So I walk around to all of the paved streets. There are paved streets in Foya. And by the way, it's so funny because from the border between Bon County and Lofa, the road is done a little bit in not paved. It is not true that the road to Lofa has been paved. It has just been portion of, of the road in Bonkani has been paved. But when you cross the border, there is no pavement on the Lofa side. I want to make that clear.
Okay.
So, but there has been re-graveling of the road to some extent. All right. And so from there to Foya, you see very bad road. Then you come to Foya, Fonjama and Foya, and you see some paved streets with cement. So I say it's like building a story building that has television, water system, everything upstairs, but no stairs to go there. There's no stairs to go there.
Okay.
But more than that, I saw a big development that catches the eye. Nobody can ignore it. There's an estate that has blue zinc, blue walls, everything blue.
Okay.
They call it the blue estate. I said, what is that? Who got that place? Is there a government place? They said, no. It belongs to Representative Thomas Fala in Monrovia. They call it the blue estate.
Okay.
14 big buildings, all air conditioned.
Wow.
But nobody living there.
You mean nobody residing?
Nobody is living there. I asked them and they say, oh, it's only occupied when he comes or when he and your friends come.
Seriously?
It is not occupied. It's the blue estate. You know, when people make money as they do, the high is wasted. Don't you see in this country, majority of the people who own private universities are in the lawmaking house? That's why I keep telling people,
yes,
I want to be a president who will create millionaires outside government, Liberian millionaires outside government, like Bill Gates in America. You know, not millionaires inside government. Because when you create millionaires inside government, you increase poverty. That is what is happening. The level of poverty in this country is so high.
Okay, Councillor Gongloe, let me take you to another level.
Yeah, quickly, we gotta do the phone call. So watch the time.
Let's go. You know, during the weekend, there was this re-nomination process by the Coalition for Democratic Change. They brought in huge crowds, you know, and I mean, I must say, I witnessed a crowd. I saw it so huge, and I felt that, I mean, there would be, if that should be translated into votes, then the CDC definitely will sweep the entire election just in a first round. So I'm just trying to think, what would be your own take on this kind of mammoth crowd that was generated by the CDC during the weekend?
You know, the worst thing that anybody can do to himself or any institution can do is to deceive itself or to deceive himself. CDC knows that the coming election will be based on the track record of this of performance of the CDC. And the performance record is so bad. No one can pass to the next grade unless you score 70. CDC is not even scoring 50. So how do they expect people to pass? We saw people in our community being given money. It was visible they were giving money to put on t-shirts. CDC of 2005 or 2011, where the young people were so enthusiastic they were carrying their own t-shirts to be marked, is not the CDC of today. Because the CDC has done some outrageous things that might even go in the Guinness Book of Records. For example, nowhere in Africa, and it has never happened in Liberian history, that non-diplomatic missions will actually write an open letter to the president and say, you took our money down in the central bank without our consent. This is the first time the government of Liberia, as a government, has been accused of theft. Because when you take somebody's money without that person's consent, it is theft. That has to go in the Guinness Book of Records. And that record was created by this government. And the Minister of Information at that time said, oh, we engage in digging hole to cover hole. But you must dig hole with your own money and cover hole with your own money. That was wrong. It damaged Liberia's reputation, and it did a disservice to the sovereign Republic of Liberia by that. Then you see the Eton Obama loan that made some people in government to make some statement that you can't believe. When that loan was signed by the president and taken to the legislature for approval, some people say whether the money comes from the devil, the belly of the devil said, we'll take it. Whether it comes from Lucifer, we'll take it. They made all those comments. Then it turned out the Minister of Finance saying, we didn't do due diligence. President Tobel or President Joe would have fired that Minister of Finance.
Okay, let's go now to...
these are the things that have happened under the government. How would that government be re-elected?
Yeah.
And so many children all over the country are not going to school right now.
Tiawan. Council. Yes. Yeah, great, folks. I enjoyed the conversation with veteran Edward Kennedy, and of course, presidential hopeful Tiawan Gongloe, but with the broom. I saw the last time I said you need an iron broom, and I still see you holding. It's a symbolic broom.
Big broom. The Widows Association gave me a big broom that I put in old mackerel cup. But it's too heavy to carry around.
Okay. Only before we go to the lines, let me just ask the presidential hopeful, how can you really grade the sonar of the president? Because maybe you have not commented on it.
I just said the LPP issued a statement called it a fair weather statement.
Okay.
That was a fair weather statement because you see, he started from the time he came to power. The first thing, I think his writers don't do well for him. And the next time, there will be no next time because this is the last time in power.
Are you saying this is a fair weather note?
It's a fair weather statement,
okay.
And what it did on Saturday was actually keeping a wake of the CDC, because government is meant to protect people and seek their welfare. These two things have not happened under the government. So the people will vote CDC. There's no question about it. Look, okay. I have written a sonar before. I was executive assistant to Dr. Amos Sawyer, and I used to be with the Deputy Minister for Public Affairs, the late Swansea Elliott, and we used to write a State of the Nation address. It shouldn't go more than 45 minutes. It's a summary. I didn't say they don't know how to summarize. They let the president read.
Yeah, but the last one, I got to capture almost everything now. So
read the whole, report from each of the
detailing agencies. Everything.
Okay, yes.
That these ambassadors, many of them are above 50. And when you're above 50, you want to go to the bathroom quickly and all that. Some people sitting on 3 hours. Some people could, do something. You can't do that. Even United States, they don't go that far.
Okay, they don't go that far. Thank you so much. Let's get the lines activated. It's from the Liberian People's Party. The LPP, Tiawan Gongloe, still holding the broom. And all of the content is going, he's still carrying this broom. Believe that he wants to sweep corruption. And of course, 0770-153-265. Soon. Okay, Cripman. Great. Bella Yala. Damn it. No more pricing center. It says a library now.
See what is there.
Okay, great. Let's get the lines activated. Let's do a minute per caller. This call on the line. Good morning. 1 minute per call. Good morning.
Good morning, veteran Oni Ramos. And let me say good morning to the councillor. This is Bobby Arumenska's phone for this district as the Koboro. But let me appreciate the councillor this morning for their brilliant discussion. Councillor, all your points in Liberia is well noted and we are taking it. Councillor, my quest to you is in Liberia quest. We all know you are in the interest of the ordinary people. Since the day that I've been following your political record as a councillor, you always took that the ordinary people, you plead against it. Councillor, you have done well. Let me give you that. But my request to you is to please, councillor, reduce your ambition and see how best that you can work with Joseph Nima.
Okay, yes, that's this right there. Let's do a minute per call running to sports time. That's that, please. I will 1 minute per caller. Good morning. Reduce your time and, of course, final collaboration. Good morning.
Good morning, Bibra O'Neill. And let me say good morning to the councillor studio. I follow the councillor and I think he spoke well. There's a Akwe Ibwe Senior. Councillor, of all that you mentioned, I care to ask you this question. You being a councillor and one of the legal luminaries in our country, how will you work when it comes to making our justice system very effective? Because we have found out over the years, our justice system has been crippled or some may say selective. How will you work?
The effectiveness of the justice system. Thank you. Let's pick another call on line one. Should be line two. Good morning.
Good morning, Logical Owning Robert, and let me say good morning to Edward Kennedy and to the council in studio, and as well to your many listeners following your broadcast. My name is Aloysius P. Flomo Jr., and I phoned in this morning from Unification City in Lower Magibi County. I want to say thanks to the council. He said it right, ranging from the angle of the President's State of the Nation address and that up to the last endorsement program here by the CDC for his re-election. I think it was just a mere bluff by the CDC, and like he said, it is very bad at times to deceive yourself, because what the CDC government did, it is just a high level of deception that maybe what they have done over the last 5 years cannot make them be re-elected. But I want to ask the council of custom if I can drop the line. There have been this report in the corridor of our country that several political parties are in consultation, maybe with him to contest as a vice president. Is it true?
Is it true? Is it true? Thank you. Just we don't have time. Good morning.
Oni, and good morning to our well-learned councillor, brother Gongloe. I listened to him, and I want to thank him for his speech. I don't want to be evident of one thing he just said, of having, the Minister of Public Works having your time in the rural county. I gave an example. I can remember one very little. The road from downtown to Morovia, it was not paved up to Totota. But I tell you, only because the road was machine, to spend 3 hours from downtown to Morovia. And I tell you, look at it now, what's the difference? The road is not paved. But you use almost the same 3 hours. So it just shows that we have maintenance of the roads, definitely we have good roads. So I just want to add up to him to let you know that.
Add up to him. Thank you. Also, Esprit, I'll take 2 more calls. I don't go. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning to the people of Liberia. Let me say good morning to your student guest, Dr. Odi Raba. Activate Martin Renner. And I just joined the conversation this morning with you. When I said Dr. Odi Raba, I am one of the latest followers of the council. However, the thing is, I still well, if they are getting the manifesto to the Liberian people. All of our council are saying to you a one-piece recommendation. For you to deliver Liberia, you cannot deliver Liberia alone. You need the support of all our politicians that will come to join you. If doing so, ask you to look at them, look at the work, look at in the last time, before you can form a collaboration. That is kind of an opportunity to activate Martin Renner Oliver.
Thank you. Like him, Randa. Somebody should be our last caller. Good morning.
Good morning, Oli, and good morning to your student. My name is David Flomo Jr., but I'm probably known in Chada community as Cllr 100. I want to comment your serial guy this morning. I listened to him keenly. He don't know me in person, but only one time I involved in a collateral business. One time a lawyer took advantage of me. The business, he can't remember. Maybe you just get me straight today. And he came, stood by me. I didn't get him a down. When he listened to that case, so you, what belongs to me, I got it back. He didn't know. Maybe he went last year, you probably think about it. So I want to commend him so much. He's got two counsel.
Now he wants the presidency. I mean, he's a poor man lawyer. The poor man wants to go out to the presidency. He wants the presidency.
Yeah. Oh, you, first speaking with you, the man took advantage of me, took my money, gave me something to work. I said, no. Tiawan Gongloe, he stood by me. I was able to get what I made.
So the question, Jared, quickly, before I take leave, we're running out of time. The question, okay, he's off the line. So I missed the call of Benjamin Wade, but I would like to say thanks to all of your calls. Yes, that's all you listen up.
I didn't recommend them.
So let me be sorry for this, counsel. Thank you. This is an educator. Benjamin Wade, our last caller.
Thank you, and I will be quick. Councilor Gongloe, let me say, thank you. I think you got the message. I follow you, and you got the message. What I really would like to suggest, as part of your speech, you talked about the old people, and that resonated with me. I don't know how well you know Jones Doko, our kinsman. I would really want you to identify with him. He wants to go back home, and let's set that kind of example. I know this comes to you as a surprise, I don't know your number. I've never called you before, but when you spoke about old people, I think we just need to set an example in those kind of directions for our people. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Council, go ahead.
I last visited, I think I'm the only political contender or presidential contender that actually visited Jones Dobo. I know where he lives in Mount Barkley. I visited him. At that time, he was a bit stronger last year. And I said, I don't see you with a guitar. And he said, oh, I don't have a guitar. So I play guitar too. So my last guitar I had at the house, I went and actually took it and carried Mr. Jones Dobo. The guitar he has now was a guitar that I gave him, just last year. Before, just recently, I saw that his condition had deteriorated in the wheelchair. Oh, I will find him. He's a man that I have a very good relationship with. He will say that himself. So thank you for that statement. And I believe in talking to me, you are talking to a whole lot of people to take care of the old man. We should take care of our old people. Yeah, but that's somebody that I've had a relationship. I would not, beyond the guitar, I would not say anything else that I've done. So people want to do, somebody said, oh, it would be good to go with Honorable Joseph Boakai. That is the wish of that Cllr. But I'm a standard bearer of the Liberian People's Party. I'm not an independent candidate. Mr. Boakai is not an independent candidate. And I believe that if there's any discussion, it should be between the political party through the executive.
Okay, so let me just sum this whole thing up, right, Council? You're busy about it because of time. Is it possible collaboration for the oppositions coming together to go to the ballot box? It's an easy one. You're going at individual political party to give George Weah one term. How easy is it?
No, let me tell you this. Most times when people are talking about collaboration, as good as it is, it presents George Weah as a formidable force, and he's not.
He's incumbent.
He is not.
He's government. He's incumbent. He's taking the country into government, into the elections.
2 times Darrell Dillon beat George.
And that time you're talking about, Council, the opposition was in a full swing together.
I think I have to give it to Darrell Dillon, really, because I saw him campaigning. He really went for it. He was raising proper.
Yeah, but that was not an individual, Council. That was not Dillon alone. It was the ANC, it was the Unity Party, the Liberty Party, the ALP all together.
Largely Darrell Dillon, I can tell you.
Okay, so you go into election law.
But listen to me, because the CPP didn't do that well everywhere in the country. Darrell Dillon's performance, we have to give credit to people. As much as CPP back him, we have to give him the credit for winning, because there were other CPP candidates in other parts.
Yeah, I would not want to agree with you on that one. I would not want to, because if you play a football game, if someone scores, the entire team will come together and celebrate. It's not one person success. Because I don't want to agree with you on this one. That was a collective effort of everybody.
Check the statistics, and I know that CPP didn't win everywhere, but and as much as coming together is good, I'm just saying that this coming election is for the candidate and the party that will work very hard. Okay. And there's no magic wine in terms of coming together. And let me say, I've said this: if CPP,
as you close up,
CPP are held together, there will not be a space for somebody like me. Because
when you're close up, because you open up for a different one now. So,
I say, you know what? 1 or 2 horse race is easy for us. And who will have gone against that? We hope they are held together. They didn't hold together. Okay. And so it's anybody's game. But nothing is impossible in the human community.
Oh, nothing is impossible. Probably could be a round table. And Tiawan could say, thank you so much.
This point, for example, we are everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere.
Ambassador Barker is in the States. I'm here. I don't know where Mr. Cummings is today. I don't know where other people are. Everybody is moving around.
So now you have...
It is moving around. So, the 2 years ago, at the time that it started, 2-3 years ago, was good. Because if they are still together, I would have supported that myself.
Apparently,
they didn't stay.
Apparently, maybe the opposition bloc is waiting for a second round to come together.
Yeah, That it has always worked that way.
Mm-hmm.
The opposition blogger always come second round. 2011 Canada Declaration, 8 political parties. In the end, I think it broke because Senator came to President Salif, but the other people also went to President. We are then, where 2017 was, the opposition.
So everybody wants to test their own political power.
That has been
like Councillor Gongloe wants to see how politically and important he is in this country. So he's going to go for the first round.
I said something, and Mr. Cummings backed it recently, that there should be agreement on the issues, as we move towards the electoral process. And the party LPP issued statement about the need to have stationary observers, about the need to have a technical assistant in the tally room, about the need to have an international counterpart electoral board to make sure that this 2023 election is free, transparent.
Okay, great.
Parties agree on that. At least we could be going somewhere. And we are meeting. I mean, there was a meeting the last time at the party office where LPP was represented. So on the issues of the election, we are meeting. Whether that meeting could lead to something, nobody knows.
Council, nothing's impossible. Thank you so much for coming this morning. We look forward to see you. The next time you see will be in Belayala.
Yes.
Belayala.
Anytime you want me here, I'll be here.
Thank you. The voice of Tiawan Gongloe closing us up on the first segment from the True Breakfast Show. Let's take this music a brief and this song should be one of the hottest. We're in election period now. This one is so hot. Yeah, man. How about these outro? Yeah, man. Wake up. 246 days to elections. Show you Cllr. When you blast she show you her boyfriend. You eat your food, you eat your food, you do the go with around. Looking at you, I show you Cllr. Already told about c'est vous point com. Now just more. Now just more. Now just more. Yeah, man. They will eat with you, yeah. They will chat with you. They will wear a t-shirt. They will not vote you. Some will vote. Good morning, folks. It's the Breakfast Show. Yeah, man. My name is O'Neill. Musa Hassan Bilete. District 7 Nimba. Yeah, man. Let me join this guy's in studio already. Emmanuel swearing that I'm from Derek Collab. Y'all, Derek, what you laughing for? Look, let me make you guys have a brief a little bit, then just for 2 minutes, just 2 minutes with this song, Liberian music. Yeah, all the political parties you should vibe to the beginning song, man. This song for no political party, oh. Yeah, man. Show you Cllr. When you blast she show you her boyfriend. You eat me up food, you eat me up food, you do the go with looking at you, already told about the book one come, now just more, now just more, yeah, man. No, David don't dance in that campaign we're on now. Yeah, I see Mother Naughty is there. Assistant Minister of the Ministry of Lands as a Mines and Energy, Manuel Swen. David Cllr for the Ministry of Information. Yeah, man. Yeah, gentlemen, good morning. Welcome, man.
Thank you.
Yes, let's have a self-introduction. Let's do a roundtable. Yeah, we're in the political space now. Yeah, I tried to wake it up a little bit. Good morning. Yes, Emmanuel Swen, good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you, and thank you very well for hosting us in your studio this morning.
How is Mines and Energy? Getting me? Not getting me. Okay, so let's go. Derry, yes, go ahead, Derry.
Thank you, O'Neill, and a very warm welcome to all of our people across Liberia, across Painesville, across Monrovia. We're glad to be in the studio to talk about the mammoth attendance of our people from all walks of Montserrat County who converge at the Anton Stadium to petition their president, the one who's delivered for them and the one who's brought joy to their hearts. So we're glad to be here. I'm honored, especially to be joined by my colleague.
Your colleague like you see every day. Every night you have a general assembly. Don't be like your first time saying Emmanuel Swen. It's a regular thing.
No, it's an honor to pair with him on the radio for the first time.
Okay.
He's a very articulate young man.
How's the Ministry of Information, Culture and Tourism?
The Ministry of Information is very good. We are moving very well. All of our organs, our communication platforms are working very well. The Liberian News Agency, the LINA, is up and running. The new Liberian newspaper. We have our Facebook page. We have an interactive website. We also have our YouTube page. We also have the Mikat Hour that is running on EABC. We also have our social media pages that are running, so Mika is doing well.
Okay, great. So Mika is doing well. I think, Emmanuel, you getting me now? Not yet. So let's start it up with this one. Emmanuel said, okay now. Yes, some having some difficulties from the other side with getting Emmanuel Swen. Well, they are both from Mines and Energy, and that are from the Ministry of Information, Culture and Tourism. Yes, Emmanuel. Now I guess you'll be okay by now. Yerimin. Good morning again, Emmanuel.
Good morning, and let me say good morning to the people of Liberia in the different parts of Liberia, especially those who converged in 7 different locations in Liberia to nominate their president, who they believe has made for them a country that they have long wished to have, for which they are prepared to give him a second term mandate.
Okay, so straight into it. The most talk about petitioning program that was here on Saturday, February 4th. Did you guys hit the point that yes, I'm seeing back and forth on the social media? How is it? Yeah, David, you're not getting me. Richard, you guys in there to try to have some adjustments. So let me just have a brief out a little bit, and we will join them in studio back. Yes, I'm not going through with them, but there's this one. Sorry about this.
With originalhits.com. Stay
I can show you clear. When you plan to show you up over. You eat me up food, you eat me up food, you do the go with the grandma. Looking at you, I show you things. Already know about the book one call.
Yeah, man. Yeah. That's why you trusted. I want to bob my head, man.
Yeah, you know.
And the beginner say, hold on, before you got to hold on.
Yeah.
Let me, we're a big fan of the True Breakfast Show. We want you to introduce.
Yeah, you know, the old team.
Yeah. So I'm eating them out.
Oh, yeah.
So the beginning play the song there are two different songs, but tomorrow I'll introduce the other one.
Okay.
Yes. I listened to the song. I said, no, give it a replay. Then immediately, the guy started to dance while the music was playing. I said, no.
Looking at them, we have to show you fake love. You already know about international.
And this other one quickly before link up with our guys. If some technical adjustment happening, they were called talking as well.
I say they get found.
Yeah, man. Hey.
Say
they call talking. You get talk too much. Richard, you're okay now. Derek, okay? Derek, Emmanuel, you in there? Okay now? Well, okay, yeah, man. Derek is still struggling in there, and of course, I don't know what sincerely is happening. So, but some way, somehow, we're gonna manage out with this one. Yeah, check definitely. Sorry, we just have to spice it up.
Of course.
Yeah, with the music anyway. But you listen up to the breakfast show. I mean, we are in a political. Derek, you okay now? You hearing yourself?
Okay now.
Okay, yeah. These songs I play, you're not on the political headquarters, oh. Don't feel part of the song I'll play, no. Yeah. Anyway, great, man. I mean, this is democracy. We must all enjoy it professionally. Yeah, let's talk about this just ended petitioning program of His Excellency President George Manawia. I mean, the turnout, well, I don't want to say it was a 1 million or less than a million. Let's talk about it a little bit. How was it? Yeah.
Okay, when we've had challenges, we've had issues, but as a government, in the face of all of the issues, our people have always been the fulcrum. Our people have always been at the nucleus of, what we want to do as a government and people. And so that crowd you saw on Saturday represented the express will of the people. It represented how our people feel, how our people think, and how our people are going to move and approach these elections that we are about to begin. The epic transgression, what we see is an accumulation, when the political actors, who have been running this country do not have anything to show, do not have anything to point to. And you have a man who came from the slums, who came from down that place where there is nothing, who had a difficult upbringing, who could not, afford a meal before going to bed, coming and representing that segment of the society, representing the most marginalized people, representing people who were ostracized, who were cut off from the society, and giving them hope again. The people were basically expressing and reaffirming to the word.
So I'm going to take this from two angles. Some folks said with that crowd, some of them were paid to come out. How do you term it out? I mean, I saw people from everywhere took to the street, and there are some videos that came up that show people counting money and all of that.
That allegation is fundamentally flawed, is faulted, is lazy, and is from the belly of the devil. When you see the quality of people who came out, these are not people you're going to pay to come out. If even by any margin of error or by any atom of reasoning that the government will pay people to come out, will be spending around maybe $50-60 million. And $50-60 million, we're looking for money to do roads. We're not going to do that for anybody. So it doesn't make sense. The atom of logic associated with that conversation is just far below any logical thinking. The people who came out yesterday were our mothers, were our fathers, were our sisters, were the communities that President Weah has taken the roads, were the communities whose homes got gutted by fire and President Weah restored their hope, were the communities who were using the sand to defecate and President Weah gave them modern homes and furnished the homes. The people you saw yesterday were the civil servants, the 15,000 civil servants that President Weah restored their hope and gave them their what is justly due them. So what you saw yesterday was a reflection of what President Weah has delivered.
So for the Liberian people, great Emmanuel, going back to the CDC, I mean, 2005, 2011, normally you'll see people print their own T-shirt. This is a little bit different. About 10 years ago.
Hey, thank you very much for bringing that out. But you see, one thing people need to understand is that the CDC as a grassroots political institution did not come to be to perpetuate poverty in the lives of the people, to continue to have the people to go at the extreme in expressing their commitment to this institution. So what do I mean when I say this? The CDC came to be to transform the life of the ordinary people.
Right.
So these people, in expression of their love, commitment, and political will to ensure that the CDC took state power, went to the extreme, used their dollars, their $2, printed their own.
That was back then. That was back then, printing their own T-shirt, okay?
That's what I'm saying.
Willingly.
Now that the CDC is a ruling party, where stars of the CDC can afford to pay their dues, where members, supporters can afford to contribute to the growth and development of the party can no longer look to the people and say they should print their T-shirt. Okay. From what we
so maybe Emmanuel, maybe that loyalty along the line. Let's continue the loyalty.
No.
It doesn't work that way.
You don't abuse the loyalty of the Liberian people.
Okay.
The Liberian people have expressed their loyalty to the extreme.
For 12
that
years.
They confronted the status quo and elected an ordinary man, brought him to the highest seat in our country. Do we continue to abuse their loyalty? I call that an abuse of their loyalty.
Okay, if they print their own share, you abuse it.
It's not fair.
It's not fair enough. When the CDC can afford at this time, the CDC should not be allowing them to print their own T-shirts. So what we have recommended, because I'm one of the organizers of that program, I chair the committee that regionalized the nomination. So what we have recommended to the National Executive Committee, because of the demand we saw in the citizens for the T-shirts, we are even recommending that next time we have a program of this kind, we should triple the amount of T-shirts that we printed, so that in fact, when a partisan sweats and a T-shirt gets white, they should be able to change it.
So what do you make? That's the CDC. What do you make of these pictures that's coming up from the social media? Some of the T-shirts have money on them. There are some videos that emulate people counting and giving money now.
It's easier for anyone.
Is it a makeup thing? It's a pay-to-play thing, or it's a makeup videos you see on the social media?
But you know that. Let's take for instance. Let's do a simple analysis. If one wants to argue that the government paid people to come out.
$20 at that.
Let's look at the number that came out in Monserrado at the ATS. Let's look at the number that came out in Lofa, in Foya. Let's look at the number that came out in Banga, in Bong.
Some of them have poor turnout. Some of them have poor. Let's pick the Monserrado. Let's pick the Monserrado. Although we have, was there a pay-to-play thing? That's what I'm asking.
It would be a flawed. It would be a flawed argument for you to only argue that the people in Monserrado were paid to come out, but the people in Lofa were not paid to come out. The people in Bon were not paid to come out.
Okay, so the question here, Emmanuel David, I'm sorry, it's a back-to-back thing. The question here is, was there money given out? Did they give money out to a district head and say, was there money given out?
Listen, let me say this. The CDC organized this program by tapping into the workings of the president, which the ordinary people appreciates. And so all the CDC did was to inform the Liberian people on the timing of the activities.
That's right.
And because of, you could see the organic nature of the crowd. Did you see what happened in Grand Jide? Did you see what happened in Grand Baza, in Bikana?
So the question here, Emmanuel, was there a cent given out? Maybe David can come in. Was there a cent given out to any district head and say, well, at least for transportation or so forth? Let me know.
Cent is more valuable than a kobo. A kobo was not given to anybody. The CDC, as I told you from the beginning, is a reflection of what you saw on Saturday was a reflection of the grassroots nature of the CDC. What happened over the last 1 year, 2 years, was that President Weah was able to sufficiently energize the base of the CDC. Those communities which were marginalized, as I said from the beginning, those communities which were ostracized by past regime, which were forgotten. For instance, look at the D12 school in Nuku Town. That school is a historical school. That school is not an ordinary school. The sea was raging and was about to, take away the D12 school. President Weah mobilized government resources and sent to D12 school. What has happened today? That school is fully protected. Look at the West Point. The West Point was being literally destroyed. That community has more than 60 to 70,000 residents. President Weah mobilized resources, $25 million, with support from some of our international partners. They are building a coastal resilience defense program in West Point. In Sino County, the sea was literally destroying the coastal line in Sino County. The government was able to mobilize $10 million United States dollars. We are protecting our people. These people are cognizant of the work that President Weah is doing with all of the communities. When you are going to Mount Barkley nowadays, you pass through Johnsonville and you are entering Mount Barkley with all going through the traffic, through the Coca-Cola factory. The road you see connecting from rail line to Coca-Cola factory is going to give some relief. All of the roads that President Weah is putting, the Dixville Road has been completed, the Johnsonville Road has been completed. All of these roads, these people in these communities are the people coming out to say, President Weah, we thank you. Nobody was induced by money. The images you see on Facebook is a making of our political opponents. They want to sway public opinion and they want to sway public, understanding of what happened. We believe that if we had elections tomorrow morning, it's going to be a first round victory.
Okay, you are just talking about nobody paid money, but why should people believe you that nobody used, or let's say the ruling coalition did not use money to induce the people to, generate that huge crowd? That's just one point. Then let's look at the other area. Do you really think this particular crowd that was generated can be translated into votes? Because as far as we are concerned, no amount of crowd in this particular Liberia that we know about can be generated into votes. We have seen it in the past.
Let me tell you something. Some of the arguments that our political opponents are making about us giving money to people to turn out, as I said, there is no item of logic associated with those arguments. Number one, when you see the crowd, which government has got money to pay, and people were saying $20, you pay
more than 600,000, 700,000 people just in Central Monrovia with $20. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? These people were literally walking distances. Who do you give money and they're walking distances? What's your commitment to them? It doesn't make sense. And the second thing is that when President Weah is on the ballot, you're talking about people, you've seen crowd come out, and when President Weah is on the ballot, the conversation about the crowd is different. When President Weah is on the ballot, I saw opposition friends reaching out to me in my inbox and telling me, my man, to tell you the truth, we believe that your man will win the election.
You haven't gone to the ballot box here and you started receiving. Okay, let's move to the event itself. I mean, that was the outside of it.
Wanted to make some
I just wanted to add to the question he asked.
Yeah, Edward.
Out. How are we going to transform the crowd that turned out into votes? The first thing is, I guess this question comes from the point to where the CDC has always pulled out crowds. And in some of the elections, in recent times, since the CDC became a ruling party, there have been some difficulties in terms of winning some by-elections and midterm elections. But you know, one of the things that the CDC has done, because our leader is a listening leader and one who learns from the different activities that occur, since those activities have happened, since those elections have taken place, the party and the government have learned from those things, and now the president is delivering to the people what they truly expect. And because the president is doing what the people want, the people now are reconsidering their decisions. And you know how you can judge this? You saw recent rallies by our opposition. Compare their numbers to the numbers.
So you're not comparing numbers. Yeah. But you know that you know that for numbers. You know that for number.
Numbers to the numbers that they pulled out when they held rallies when we initially took over. So you come to realize that the Liberian people now who were driven into deception by early protests and other things that started in the early days of the regime have started realizing that this president is a listening president. This president is one who means well for the Liberian people. This president is delivering on the promises. And because they are seeing the reality, they have seen that there is no reason why they should stay back other than turning out to give this president a second term mandate.
Okay.
To turning this into votes, the CDC now is a party that have come of age. The CDC in 2005, the CDC in 2011, and the CDC in 2017 is not the CDC today. Emmanuel Titi Soin has a strategist of the CDC in 2017. It's not Emmanuel Titi Soin in 2023.
No, it's not the same.
How to transform turnout into votes, those are things that we have learned over the years, and now we are senior strategists, not the ones we were in the past. So, just my word, you will see that President Weah is going to defeat any opponent on the first ballot.
So until the result come out from Elections Commission, for all what you're saying, they're just strategists. But let's go to the reality. Emmanuel Dado from David Cllr in the studio there. I mean, the petitioning program itself, at some point in time, we saw there was some little bit of hitches. The other collaborating parties within the Congress. Let's look at it, because it was a little bit slowed down with the LDVP. We listened up to former Speaker Alex Cllr just after the petitioning program, and a little bit of slow move on the vice president, the current vice president, the MPP. What's happening? The petitioning.
So let me say, like all other political institutions and arrangements, the Coalition for Democratic Change is a political arrangement that, like others, will have its own challenges.
Right.
So in the coalition, like it is always going to be, when you bring a group of people together with different interests and other things, when you bring them together, there will be some minimal issues. But what I can tell you is there are individuals in a coalition who believe that certain things need to be done. And these things are being looked at, are being worked on. But as an institution, the Coalition for Democratic Change does not have any challenge that amounts to division. The first thing is the organic document that brought the coalition together, and the signed continual document that on which the coalition is training right now, calls for two-third majority decision-making process. And this process has been met in the coalition, and it is upholding the coalition. So the coalition document hasn't been challenged, but there are individuals in the coalition who have issues. Listen, you saw on the program, you saw the chairman of the LPDP present, and he made an endorsement.
So the chairman was present, and now listening up to the Senate bearer from the LDVP saying different thing. What is happening? The document, before you provide that information, is the document expired since November of last year, or you still moving on the same document?
There was another document signed. There was another document signed recommitting the three political institutions. There was another document signed. And this document is still being respected. This document hasn't been violated by any component party of the coalition. What is happening is normal. There are individuals who have issues. And our president being a listening president, I think you saw in recent time, like for an example, the NPP had a serious crisis. Yeah. The chairman could not recognize the Senate bearer. The Senate bearer could not recognize the
crisis is still there. As far as I'm concerned, the crisis.
There. The president had a meeting with stars of the NPP
before the petitioning.
Long before the petitioning.
Yeah, that was when he said. That was what he said.
And when he held that meeting with them, they had a reasoning of the mind. And has mature political actors in our political space, they were able to trash out their differences. First time after that meeting, the political party attended functions where the Senate bearer recognized Chairman James Barney, and Chairman James Barney recognized the political leader in Councillor Dr. Joe Howard Taylor. So that's the same way the president is reaching out to these individuals who have issues in the coalition, but as institutions, the institutions are still committed to the arrangement because the arrangement has not been violated. The organic document of the arrangement is still being respected. And that is why you saw the three political parties represented in the nomination yesterday.
So did you listen out to the former speaker, Ellis Taylor? I mean, are you saying the party chairman was present at the petitioning? And no, just let me do. You listen up to him. Did you listen up to former speaker Ellis Taylor on behalf of his party? On behalf of his party?
When a political institution is faced with intra-party difference, it doesn't preclude the fact that this institution is even stronger than it was before. When you look at the petitioning program, the chairman of the LPDP represented the institution LPDP and was part of the petitioning program. The vice president, Councillor Dr. Chief Joe Howard Taylor, who is the standard bearer for the MPP, was fully present and fully attending the petitioning program. The chairman of the MPP was attending that program. Our party, our institution as the Coalition for Democratic Change, may have had an intra-party difference, but we have not reached to a point of crisis and a point of disintegrating. We are stronger. We are better. We are going to these elections with a united front. That's the message to the Liberian people.
So my finger, David and Emmanuel, on a sincere note, granted you said the chairman of the LPDP, yes, was in present, and the same night his tenor bearer talked to the Spoon Network and said, well, it is following disagreement. So what is happening? If Chairman Molu says something and the tenor bearer of your party says another thing, what is happening?
I'll speak to Patterson Tyler's comments on the radio. Mm-hmm. Will not speak to what he said. Patterson Tyler he has some disagreement. We're going to look into it internally. We're going to have a conversation with our Patterson and we'll fix that. That's what I can say to that.
But David, you just talk about going to this particular election on a united front. Let's look at the past, just this weekend nomination in Bon County. You had two groups. One person nominating the president, another group rejecting it. What's your take on this particular situation in Bon County?
I was in Bon County. As a matter of fact, I hail from Bon County. I hail from Sanoye District, Bonokola Town. I am a son of Bon County. President Weah is loved by the people in Bon County. All of what you saw was being orchestrated by political elements who wanted to send a message, out there that the president is not loved and they do not support the petitioning program. These are political workings of political actors. We're not going to be swayed, or we're not going to follow them. We're not going to have our nerves moving because of what they're doing. The people of Bond County, President, we are included in the budget for the technical college, 500,000 United States dollars to complete that technical college. We're going to be constructing a modern mega market in Bond County for the people of Bond County. President, we are promised 100 housing units for the people of Bond County. We've commenced that. We put some of the units along the main road. We have put some of the units in your Cllr. You move along the road there in your Cllr. We are going to continue the construction of those housing units for our poor elderly people. President Weah has taken the road, the Bond County side of the road to Lofa County has been completed. So we're not distracted by political elements. What is going to happen along during these elections is that you're going to see various political interplay. We're not moved by that. We remain focused as a government on delivering for the Liberian people.
So, David, somebody listening to you will just be thinking about, people on the other side of the political divide would say, indeed, David is speaking because he has to protect his job. This is what he's been paid for. So whether there's a fraud on the part of government, he will not going to say that. And of course, he will just be preaching the positive side of government.
And I lived in Bond County. I'm not a stranger to Bond County. I was on the radio for 3 days in Bond County. I told our people the Cocoa Road last September, during the peak of the rainy season, the Ministry of Public Works deployed technicians who went on that road and did a feasibility study on that road. They were able to identify the amount of covers that will go on the road. They did the soil profiling on that road. The government is going to commence this dry season the construction of that road. So for people to say David is speaking the way he's speaking because he wants to protect his job, it doesn't make any the logic is so weak. However, what I'm saying is that Bond County has been a part of the metrics of President we are delivering for the Liberian people. Cocoa Road is going to be done. The Bond County side of the Lofa Road, Bond County Lofa Road has been completed. We are constructing housing units in your Cllr. We are constructing housing units along the Banga Kakata Highway for our people. We are also going to construct a modern mega market that is going to have a daycare facility, that is going to have administrative complex. You're going to leave your market in the market hall. You're going to have.
Are you talking about constructing these structures in the very, less time that you have in government?
But most of the construction of the markets that were done on 3 months. The president has said that the oral market was done on 3 months. The Omega market, which is one of the largest market in Liberia, was done on 5 months. So that tells you that the timeline we're giving you this is so practical. They were not just the market buildings. The president was able to meet timelines and exceed timelines. President Weah has said that the market is going to be constructed this dry season. He's giving 500,000.
So you are doing this now because of campaigning. Election is just right near in the corner.
This because of campaigning. We are doing this because it's an obligation of the government to the Liberian people. We are going to deliver. President Weah is going to deliver on the promises made to the Liberian people.
Promises built to the Liberian people. Tough talking David Cllr, this boy. Big boy. Anyway, but Emmanuel and that are from David. Why should the Liberian people really like President George Weah? The second time. I saw a billboard. It says 1K reasons to really like the president.
Like you just acknowledged that you have seen 1K.
Yeah, so you have to convince me. Why? Someone said 1,000. It's too much. I remember David Cote had 100 reasons to read like Ellen Johnson, and that worked. Yeah,
Listen, O'Neill, Cllr have enumerated couples of those reasons. Let's take, for instance, why should the people of Bapuru County and the Western region not elect President George Weah after he has given them a modern 100-bed hospital? Why should the people of Bond County not elect President Weah after all of what Cllr have named? The road leading to Lofa County, the CBL cash hub in Bond County, the different interventions. Why should the people of Nima County not elect President Weah when they have the road leading to the Lokatuo border, when they have the road from Gantor to Cllr, and now they want to begin from Cllr to Tapeta and onward
to Yekepa?
And why should the people of Maryland County not elect President Weah when they have the road leading from Harpole to River G completed, when they have a modern market in Plibo? Why should the people of River G not elect President Weah when now they have passed into law and soon to be constructed a technical college?
So you go now, money, so you can hit more than 1,000. All right, okay.
The Liberian people have even more than the reason stated.
And if you have the opposition, the opposition defeated you on 2 major counties in a special election, the by-elections. You lost Monserrado, and if that's what Dylan coming to a senatorial post, Yamlin Kanga reteaming Grand Ambassador, and the fear that the opposition. Why are you laughing?
Let me speak to that. You see, there are a lot of factors that play into the decisions that I made during elections. So when you look at how the elections went in Monserrado County, for an example, when you look at some of the things that preceded the elections, you can tell that the opposition tapped into some of our shortcomings. Like, for an example, on the 26th leading to the elections, we delay the payment of civil servants.
So I hope there will not be a real occurrence.
And that's why I told you, our president, the Liberian people's president, is a listening president. Now, before the climax of the month, I can receive my text message, and all of the civil servants that work at the Ministry of Mines and Energy, and I know the same is happening with other ministries.
And when did that begin?
They'll collapse. Okay, yeah, you finished speaking about mines and energy. Quickly, we gotta go. Yeah, there. What about Mika? He's talking about mines and energy. Yes.
Let me tell you something.
You get a notification as well.
In December, the government pays salaries between the 9th and the 15th of December. In December.
Yeah.
And one of the conversations we were having on the radio the last time was that the money will finish and the people will say, we want some more pay.
Exactly.
So the civil servants were owing the government in advance.
So this is for ministry, not autonomous agency.
Listen, every time we say that it is the first time happening, people begin to question why we're seeing the first time happening. There has been no time in the history of this country that the government has paid between the 9th to the 15th, and the people owing the government. The government pay, the government say, you'll be owing us.
Okay, a new record there. Since 1847, a new record there.
It becomes a cliche when people say since 1847, but these are facts. We're not making them up. The last administration, the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf administration, borrowed $223 million from the Central Bank of Liberia to pay salaries and to do whatsoever they wanted to do. President Weah, in 2019, 1 year after he came to office, placed a moratorium on the borrowing of money from the CBL. Some of the challenges we faced was that when we came to office, we had only $5 million in the consolidated fund, in the consolidated account. The government could not use $5 million to pay salaries at the time. The total we needed to pay salaries was around $24 million. The government had to put itself up and raise revenue to be able to meet the salary. Madam Sirleaf met $350 million from the Judy Bryan administration. When she was leaving, she left $160 million in the CBL reserve. The people looted this country. Listen, from 2006 to 2017, the government of Mrs. Sirleaf received more than $5 billion. Go to the World Bank Index, go to the IMF Index, and see what's the total they received. What they gave back to this country was so minimum, it hurt the country. Do you wonder where we take the money from, the extra money from, to pay more than 24,000 students WAS and WAEC fees? Do you wonder where the government of Liberia takes the additional money from to fund the University of Liberia that has been underfunded for years and gave student waiver? all across colleges, all across the country, including all colleges? Do you wonder where we get that money from? Do you wonder where the government of Liberia gets money from? That the past government was getting $12 million every year to pay health workers. Our government is outsourcing that money from our budget.
Okay.
Paying, hold on. We are paying health.
We gotta go now.
Yeah, we are paying health workers. The government assumed the responsibility to pay health workers. Not just that, we increased doctors' pay from $700 to $2,000.
Okay. It's on the record. So there in man was saying we have to find maybe 2 hours because like one key reason, other reasons to re-elect the president.
Yes,
Yeah, we have to find like two hours and let's go back and forth. Let's go back and forth with this. So just close up. Let's start off with Emmanuel's one. Yes.
Okay, let me first begin by appreciating the True FM family for allowing us to use their platform. And let me say, we want to be humble. We want to appreciate the Liberian people for their mammoth turnout in the 7 different locations where the petitioning programs were held. Liberia was divided into 7 regions, and by virtue of the fact of my appointment, I chaired the committee that was responsible to organize the program in 6 of the 7 regions. Region 1 was Lofa County, and the people of Lofa County turned out in Foya, where they held their petition. Region 2 was Bon County, where the people of Bon County turned out in Banga City, where they held a petition. Region 3 was Nimba County, where the people of Nimba County turned out in Saniquity City, where they held their petition. Region 4 was the Southeast, where the counties in the Southeast assembled in Zwedru in Grand County, where they held their petition. Region 5 was Riverside and Grand Bassa, where they assembled in Buchanan, where they held their petition. Region 6 was the Western region, where you have Bapuru, Kimau, and Bomi, where they assembled in Tini and they had their petition. While Region 7, which was not on our committee, was Magibi and Mosorado, and you saw it on ATS.
Okay.
Trust me, the Liberian people have shown their acceptance and have validated their decision to be made in October on the 10th to re-elect President. We are humble and we appreciate their level of commitment, and we pray and hope that we will continue as a government to deliver to them what they so desire.
Okay.
In this country in the soonest possible time.
Emmanuel, we'll have another time. Yeah, there were just 30 seconds. We're going to wait to our radio time already.
Thank you. The amalgamation of the epic transgression against our country will never be repeated. Patriotic sons and daughters of this country will continue to serve their country and deliver for the Liberian people. We believe that President Weah is one of those patriotic sons, and he's going to deliver for the Liberian people. All we're asking is that give us some more time. We will continue to deliver what you ask us to do. Thank you.
Okay, the voice of David Cllr closing us up. And gentlemen, please don't take this song. This song I'm about to play. Y'all please don't take this on the party headquarters. Thank you so much. This is our Glow on the Breakfast Show. Let me officially introduce this song to you on the True Breakfast Show. This is a high-core political song as well.
Mm-hmm. is it another release from the president?
Yeah, this is a high-core political song.
Yes.
This one. Leave you of this one. It's a nice one. It's
yes.
by Bob Bassi Moncopella. Yeah, taking us home. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Thank you so much on behalf of the entire team this morning. Richard Lucinin, Edward Kennedy. My name is O'Neill Roberts. In the midst of all country friends. Yes, country friends. Have a golly Monday. We'll be back on tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Yeah.